Let's feel the roll-on power. Lag, a little bit of lag, and right there at 3,000 it starts to open up.
Missing someone.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Cruise Sin City. It's been a little over a month since the last time we made a video, and that's because I moved. So you can see we've got a bigger garage now. We're gonna get back to making videos here. Bigger garage, better videos, new stuff definitely coming. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. But let's get to the title of this video, the Dynojet Power Vision. So I've got a used Power Vision here. You can pick these up brand new for about 400 bucks online. I already had one. So I went on the Dynojet program on my computer and I bought a new tune license so I could use my old one, save a couple bucks, and flash this bike. So pretty simple, Power Vision. This is the one that I'm gonna use to tune this bike through our stages. So once we do intake, we put a different exhaust, we do cams, and maybe one day a 128 or 131 kit on there. This is what's gonna take us all the way through as far as a tuning unit. It's pretty simple to do. We're gonna pop off the left saddlebag and then the left side cover, and in there is the port that the Power Vision is gonna plug into. And from that point, we're gonna turn the bike on, get it flashed. Let's go. If you can take those two things off your bike, then you can definitely install the Power Vision yourself to get an off-the-shelf map. So all we're gonna do next is this little gray connector at the bottom right here. We're gonna pop that off. It just slides forward. It is kind of stiff at first. We're gonna take off this black cap. And we're gonna take our Power Vision and we're just gonna plug it in. Turn the bike on. It powers on and the Dynojet Power Vision starts to power on. So we go from here, we're gonna program vehicle, off-road use only. I've already got this one married to the bike, so after you get that done, all you're gonna do is you're gonna hit load tune, Dynojet pre-configured tunes. And on here is a whole bunch of different ones. We're gonna do the stock improved tune because the bike's still pretty much stock. It's gonna be that first one there. Hit select. And it'll tell you touring, 114 air oil cooled stock improved. We're gonna hit continue. Hit okay. And then select flash to send this tune to the ECM. Let's do it. Now it says, please turn key off and wait 10 seconds before turning the key back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're gonna turn the key back on. Yeah, it's as easy as that. So now our bike is flashed with the stock improved tune. So let's fire it up and see if it runs. Before we kill ourselves with carbon monoxide poisoning, because I still have the garage door closed, let's get this bike out on the road and see what it feels like.
All right, so we're getting our first ride in on the bike after the tune. Put the sun visor down here. Haven't really gotten the opportunity to open it up yet. This is literally my first impressions of the Dynojet improved stock tune. So like I said, all that's done now is removing the baffles in the muffler and the tune. So we have a stock intake, stock cam, stock displacement, stock headers, and pretty much open mufflers. Biggest thing I think about an improved stock tune isn't going to be a ton of horsepower or a ton of torque. I mean, there's going to be some, but it's the responsiveness of the motor and that higher red line. So we went from 5,500 up to 6250, I think it is. We're getting about an extra 750 RPM, which is about a 12% increase, which is a lot. It's not going to hurt a stock motor to let it rev out to 62 like that. These companies that are making these off-the-shelf tunes are going to know where the safe spot is, and most likely why Harley Davidson factory had it at 5,500. Could have been for emissions, could have been for noise. When bikes come out of the factory, they have to be under a certain decibel level, and that includes engine noise and exhaust. That's why you'll see some of these really expensive sports cars. They've got a good sounding exhaust, and that's because they were able to keep the engine noise down because it's overall decibel levels. I'm not sure which reason they kept it at 5,500. I would guess it's either decibels or EPA stuff, because these bikes do run lean from the factory. So what that means is they're not pumping as much fuel in there as they could for optimal performance, and it's trying to save the environment by running it lean. Less fuel, less emissions. One of the things this stock improved tune does is it fixes that air-fuel ratio. Just kind of riding around here, you could feel the responsiveness of the motor is a little bit better. So if you're trying to do things in steps and stages, in my opinion, you got to get the tuner first. Before you buy an intake, before you buy an exhaust, it's going to make the biggest difference out of the box if you're only doing one thing. Because if you just throw an intake on there, you're just going to make the bike more lean. If you just throw an exhaust on there, even more lean. So you got to buy the tuner anyway if you're going to do those things. So if you're trying to do it step by step, spend a couple bucks here, wait a while, spend a couple bucks, get the tuner first. This, once again, is the Dynojet Power Vision. So I already had the Power Vision for my old bike. So I went onto the website and I bought a new tune license. It was $199, and it basically allowed me to use my old unit, marry it to this bike as well. Now let's say I still had my old bike that Power Vision was originally hooked up to, it would still tune that. Or just because you're adding another bike doesn't mean you're getting rid of the old one. But definitely a tuner is the first step, in my opinion. Now, like we talked about in our other video about which tuner should I use, you've got different options. You got the, if you want to keep your warranty, stay with Screaming Eagle. It'll be better than stock, especially if you're going to do intake, exhaust, torque cam, or horsepower cam, or any of that kind of Harley line of stuff. But if you're ready to step it up to the big games, you're going to go with Power Vision, Thunder Max. There's also TTS Master Tuner, which we didn't talk about in that video, and I don't know a whole lot about. And then, of course, there's the fuel pack. Open up around this corner here. There's the fuel pack from Vance & Hines, which seems to be a popular choice, but it doesn't have that many options once you start doing cams and things like that. If you're just going to buy intake and pipes, that's all you're ever going to do, it'll work just fine. Now we're on the highway. We're in 5th gear. Shift up to 6th. We're sitting at 70 miles per hour. Let's feel the roll-on power. Lag, a little bit of lag, and right there at 3,000 it starts to open up. That was like 3rd throttle, nothing crazy. But also in a 6th gear roll-on like that, the motor's not going to rev super fast anyway. 85. It's definitely got a little more pep to its step, that's for sure. Now, one of the biggest things for me, number one, that I know is going to be a huge improvement for me, is that higher red line, 6250. Because on the track, where I've been going here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, I'm running out of RPM in 2nd gear, and I'm having to shift coming out of the corner. So this will give me, more opportunity, more time to stay in that same gear and come out of the corner a little bit faster without disturbing the bike and shifting while I'm in a corner. And also this should help with low end RPM when I'm at low in 2nd gear. When I'm at like 1,500, 2,000 RPM braking to go into a corner, it'll have a little more torque down low so I can brake as hard as I want, or as hard as you can, get into 2nd gear, come into the corner when it's time to get the gas on after the apex. You hit the gas and you stay on it until you're in a straightaway, and if you need to shift to 3rd, the bike's straight up and down by then. So it's going to help that whole rev range of the cornering and everything. Less things to do to disturb the bike. Of course, every corner is going to be a little bit different. Some faster sweepers might be in 3rd gear, things like that. But the track that I'm going through right now, I'm not in 3rd gear unless I'm in somewhat of a straightaway, and then I get into 4th gear in the main straight. That's it. I can definitely feel a little peppier. It's not a huge difference. The bike is happy to not be controlled by the EPA. So it's, running a little richer, got a little higher RPM to stretch its legs. We're just freeing our motorcycle and losing our warranty. Sunset in Las Vegas. Nice end of November day. A few weeks out from Christmas. You can get one thing for Christmas. For your bike, Drop it in the comments down below. Let me know. Let me know what's on your wish list. What's the next thing you want to grab for your bike? Doesn't have to be a Road Glide, any bike you got. Or if you don't have a bike, maybe there's a bike you want to see under the tree. Or Hanukkah bush, or whatever it is you celebrate. So we were kind of in traffic a little bit when we were on the surface streets. Then we jumped straight on the highway, but I could feel it while we're on the highway. Downshift, 5th gear. See, now we can get 4th gear. We got that higher redline throttle. This tune, I mean, it gives the bike more torque, not so much horsepower. So you're going to get that lower end brunt a little bit more than, say, the older twin cams. They would give you a little more horsepower, but the Dem Ace are really torquey. But yeah, guys, got the new tune on the bike, and now we're ready for an intake. So that'll be the next power increase we do on the bike. Will be an intake. All right, y'all. Keep it rubber side up. I'll catch you next time.